Well, earlier in the week we saw The Daily Show in America give some of our more gaffe-prone candidates the once-over. Now a veteran US politician says the political landscape in Australia is the same world over. Apparently the global problem is too much focus on spin and not enough on substance.
The political landscape in Australia is not terribly different than the political landscape in the United States. I can see just in the short time I'm here that a lot of it has unfortunately become consumed with the irrelevant, with the occasional mistake somebody makes, and as opposed to focusing on the bigger picture, the bigger ideas, who's better for the economy, who's better from the point of view of security, who's better in sketching out the future of a country. And we have the same sort of easily get distracted by the silly aspects of the campaign as opposed to focusing on the most important aspects of the campaign. So people in Australia should not feel that this is an Australian phenomenon. America is suffering from this, the world is suffering from it.
Well, speaking of getting distracted, Tony Abbott's tete-a-tete with a pop superstar on radio this morning, arguably gaining the most coverage of the campaign today.
Katy Perry may have kissed a girl, but do our politicians like it? Gay marriage is a hot-button issue in our election, but it was the American pop star who called out opposition leader Tony Abbott over the issue. Mr Abbott got the opportunity to interview the star on Sydney radio. And his big question?
When are you coming back? We need you. We want you. When are you coming back?
The singer, however, was more keen to discuss coalition policy than her music.
Oh, come on, that's not a political question. Let's talk about gay marriage.
She urged voters to speak out against Mr Abbott's stance on gay marriage.
Yeah, well, I love you as a human being, but I can't give you my vote then.
But it was another radio station interview that Mr Abbott has come under fire for. Labor has slammed the coalition leader for describing the push to legalise same-sex marriage as the fashion of the moment on 2SM.
I support, by and large, evolutionary change. I'm not someone who wants to see radical change based on the fashion of the moment.
As for Mr Abbott, his light-hearted suggestion to Katy Perry to use one of her songs for his political campaign has also raised eyebrows. The first line...
Well,
oh my God, he's sexist again.
Yeah.
He's been sexist again.
It never stops. It never stops.
No, it never stops. I mean, surely there's only so much faux outrage that the the Twitterati and the Glitterati can muster, and maybe we've hit the quota already, and it's only week 2. So that would be nice, wouldn't it? We could have a break.
What's interesting though, Australia versus US politics, in the States we really seem to get that bandwagon jumping on of the superstars to pledge their support for certain candidates. We don't really see that in Australia though.
No, that's right. I mean, in the US that comes with a certain backlash as well, but in Australia, can you just imagine how much more, like Barack Obama, who I think is an incredibly charismatic leader, but associates himself with people like Beyonce and Jay-Z, George Clooney, all that sort of stuff. You know, that association with kind of, you know, liberal Hollywood or whatever plays very bad for Obama in you know, places like the South or in real rough kind of industrial heartlands, either regional places or unionised places in the urban centres. So if that's happening in the US, which celebrates success and which, you know, when someone makes it to the top, they go, yeah, good for you, that's great, you know, and instead of hating them for it, they want to emulate them for it. Imagine Australia, which is the most anti-talk,
getting the home and away stars jumping on board.
They would just eat people alive. I mean, look at what happened when Julia Gillard tried to get a little bounce by hanging out with Kyle and Jackie O. I mean, granted, it was the worst possible celebrity.
It's so not in our culture,
choose, but it's not at all. And I think you know, and as Tony Abbott said, even just engaging with a celebrity on anything other than the most heavily scripted terms can easily turn to disaster. So I would just add them in the same category as children and animals.
Oh, danger zone. All right, Joe Hildebrand, Opinion Editor, News Corp Australia. As always, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Moira.
And of course, you can catch the show every evening across all of the News Corp websites by following the links to The Voice of Australia. I'm Moira Geddes. Thanks for your company.